However, we still have to move on. So we are going to set up the basic like standards or equipment, or check out the basic decision for your cafe. So hopefully now you stay with your team members, and then we are gonna move on and then set up what we're gonna do now. So our TA will help us out. So she's gonna deliver what we're gonna do in Chinese. So it's gonna be fine. But as you can see, all of these ideas are in English. So you have to read and then make a final decision based on your team's thoughts and ideas. Okay, so please come over.
大家应该都知道 Biz Cafe 的连结从哪边点啊？我放在 LINE 还有数位学院。
Please turn on the web page.
在这边。有人找不到入口的话，可以举手。好，那我就继续。你们帮我按登录。这边有一个 login， 帮我点进去。然后这个 user ID 跟密码是各组组长的才有的，我有放在 LINE 的，可以去找。那现在就是各组先登录。登录之后的话，再帮我按进去这个 comparative play open 这里。都有进去了吗？
因为我们时间有限哦，那你们赶快确定一下，你们是不是已经到了这个 Get Started 的这个 page？ 还没的请举手。还没的请举手。So make sure you are on the right track, or you're gonna get lost.
看不出我到底哪里错。干嘛在登？
那个同学一组一个同学登录就好了，你们不要每个人都登录哦。一组一个登录所以才需要跟同学坐在一起。So one group, just one representative logging. So you're gonna watch the screen and then make the final decision together. So you don't need to log in individually. 一组一个人登录就可以了，然后用比较大的荧幕看，你用小手机，你会看到拓汤吧？
小哥加油！确定。
是那个网页。
So this is the page you are supposed to be on. So please look at the screen. It should be like this. Step 1, get started, an introduction. 有到这个画面吗？然后请助教那个两位助教帮我看一下，哪边小组的举手一下，助教才能过去帮你确认。小组的电脑就是荧幕在哪边，请助教帮我们确认一下。
But just only one.
Yeah.
Okay, because
一组一个人 log in 就好了，然后你们会过去看那个荧幕做决定。你们应该没有办法每个人都。
所以我们前进好看。那没关系，应该可以。
都在了吗？
因为我们
有没有哪一组还没有到这个画面的？
因为学生版的最后来
其他的。
这边都
好，请问还有没有哪一组不是这个画面的，请举手。还有没有哪一组不是这个画面的，请举手。都是哈。好，那我们就请助教帮我们介绍，然后等一下就要从这个画面进去做 set up。
好，那开始之前我就先放这个官方的介绍影片，那他会跟我们讲说大致要怎么操作。
You will be exposed to a variety of subjects, including management, operations, marketing, accounting, and finance. By running your own coffee shop for a set number of simulated weeks that your instructor has determined, competing in the Biz Cafe environment will be a new experience for most of you, and this may well be the first time you use a simulation. Therefore, take some time to familiarize yourself with the program, especially the case, which is contained both in a separate document as well as in the student manual. Reading and understanding the Biz Cafe case is vital for doing well in the simulation. In this video, we will briefly illustrate how to navigate through Biz Cafe. At the beginning of the simulation, you must make 3 startup decisions for your new cafe. Naming your company, purchasing furniture, and purchasing an espresso maker. Start by naming your cafe and making your furniture selection carefully, making sure both are compatible with the image you want to project. Your furniture and equipment cannot be changed after the simulation is advanced from the startup period, and there are also restrictions on name changes, so choose carefully. Select either used furniture for $2,000 or from a variety of new boutique furniture for $4,000. Choosing new furniture may improve your image with certain customers, but it does cost extra. Both used and new furniture options will provide sufficient seating for the shop. Choose either a 2-cup espresso maker for $3,000 or a 4-cup espresso maker for $6,000. The 4-cup machine is capable of producing more than twice the number of cups that the 2-cup machine can in the same amount of time, but it is also twice the cost, which impacts your startup cost for opening the cafe. So take all of that into consideration. After you complete the startup decisions, you will be able to start working on the decisions for your first period, which in Biz Cafe is a simulated week in the life of the business. You may adjust your decisions as many times as you like before the game is advanced for that period. Generally, you will make your decisions after examining the environment, setting some objectives, considering your competition, and thoroughly analyzing the reports provided in the simulation. The first decision you will see under the Decisions tab is weekly purchases. Coffee is ordered weekly in bulk, and you must specify the number of pounds to order. You must also choose your coffee quality, good, high, or organic. It's important to note that unused coffee will be disposed of at the end of the week. If you order too little, coffee will be ordered for you, but at a slightly higher cost. Cups with a printed logo can be ordered in bulk on a weekly basis as well. Cups that are not ordered in advance will be purchased without a logo and at a slightly higher cost. The coffee calculator near the top of the page will help you estimate the amount of coffee you need to order. The estimated quantity of coffee to order adjusts automatically as you change your estimate of cup sales. On the staffing and hours decision screen, you will need to decide on your shop hours, managers' wages per week, the number of servers to hire or fire, and their hourly wage. A manager must be present while the cafe is open, as well as for an hour before open and an hour after close. Each manager works a minimum of 40 hours a week. Later in the simulation, you may have the option to open your cafe on weekends. You are required to have at least 2 managers if you are not open on weekends. Otherwise, you may have 2 or 3. Managers cannot do all the work in the shop. You will need to hire staff to help serve customers. Each server is part-time and works 10 hours per week. In addition to the number of servers, you will need to set their wages. Wage rates should be competitive with other shops in the simulation. If you pay your servers too little, you might not attract the best employees, while those you do hire may be more likely to change jobs. Workers like to be busy, but not stressed, so be sure to hire an appropriate number of servers to meet demand. In the marketing decision screen, you can adjust the price you would like to charge per cup of coffee. Coffee typically comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. You start out the simulation offering only medium-sized cups, and you may be able to offer additional sizes as the simulation progresses. Every week you will need to set a price for each size. If your price is too high, sales may suffer. If your price is too low, your bottom line will suffer. You may choose to set up a website for your business and or create a social media page. One vendor can build your website in 4 weeks, or for more money, a different vendor can build an equal quality one in 2. Search ads direct people to your site once it's established. A social media presence can be established immediately, and you may pay to boost posts there. On the special decision screen, you will find any additional special decisions your instructor has selected, such as weekend hours, multiple cup sizes, and incidents. You will be notified on your company dashboard and in the decision alerts when new special decisions become available. There are no absolutely right or wrong responses to most special decisions, although some responses may be better than others. Some responses will incur an expense, others may increase sales, and some will have little to no effect. After the simulation is advanced, you may find feedback to your decision on the dashboard. In the Creative tab, you have a chance to express your creativity by adding a logo, an advertisement, tagline, and cup design. You can also upload a logo and add images into the simulation. For an ad, you could alternatively embed media from sources like YouTube or SoundCloud. Finally, go to Decision Summary to review your decisions for each week. It's good to do a final check on your decisions before the simulation advances. Also, make sure to click on Decision Alerts to check for any decisions you may have missed. We recommend you keep a log of your strategy, adjustments, and any other notes for the decisions made this period in the decision rationale. This can be done individually or as a team. Review this as you make decisions for the next period and consider carefully what changes you'd like to make. To help you make good business decisions, check out these analysis tools that are at your disposal. In the Cash Budget Analysis tool, you can enter potential amounts of cup sales to get familiar with making projections. The revenues are based on your price input and a sales projection. The expenses are based on your staffing, marketing, and materials purchasing decisions, as well as projected rent, utility, and loan payments. You can also calculate your break-even by entering your fixed and unit costs in this worksheet. A critical part of operating a business. The success of your coffee shop will depend on the quality of your decisions in relation to the environment and in relation to other decisions. As the manager of your coffee shop, you must make sure that all functional areas of your business are in line with your overall objectives and that all of your decisions are integrated, working towards producing the desired results. There are a number of reports under the company menu that you can use to track performance as you operate your business. The dashboard provides an overview of your cafe's performance on various measures. Values in green indicate improvement on the metric from the previous week. To help you analyze your company's income and expenses, a checkbook is also provided. Keep an eye on where your money is going. The daily receipts report is used to view how much money you earned each day and how well your staff handled customers who came into your cafe. Daily capacity is the number of cups of coffee your shop could have served based on the available equipment, servers on staff, and the server's productivity. Comparing cups served to capacity is one way to measure how busy your staff was during the day. Average price is the average price your coffee was sold for each day. Receipts is the total revenue for the day, resulting from multiplying the number of cups served by the average price per cup. The income statement shows revenue and expenses on an accrual rather than cash basis, so items are expensed in the period they are used, rather than when they are purchased. Click on a dollar value for an expense or revenue item to see a list of transactions that created the balance. The balance sheet shows your firm's assets, liabilities, and equity. Remember, a balance sheet is a snapshot of your business at a single point in time. It balances because assets must equal the sum of liabilities and shareholders' equity. The cash flow statement shows the changes in your cafe's cash position over the month. In addition to viewing reports for your business, you will want to look at what is happening in the local market. Under the market menu, you will find important market and customer information. The local labor report provides the averages for manager and staff wages, average turnover rate, which tells you about how often the staff at local businesses are quitting, the area's minimum wage, and the number of employees for the other coffee shops in the area. Compare these local wage averages to your employees' wages. Remember that if your managers and servers are paid less than the averages, they will become unhappy. If you have an occasional server quitting, you can compare with the average turnover rate to see if you are close to the norms for your local area. The customer survey shows your customer satisfaction with your cafe, an important measure of your performance. This survey provides information on how customers perceive and rate coffee shops in your area and is conducted every week. The industry menus option shows the menus for all your competitors so you may compare competitor prices, coffee quality, and cafe hours with your own. Finally, under Creative, Industry Branding is where you can view all of your competitors' creative design elements. Now, let's go over a few more helpful tools in the program. The Decision History button allows you to view all the decisions that have been made in the simulation, when they were made, and who made them. It's helpful to review in conjunction with the decision summary. The News icon shows you any news related to the decision category. This same information is also reported on the dashboard, but here it's about the decision you're making. Be sure to check this before you make any new decision. The question mark provides additional help information and explanation for each tab. The three-dot menu allows you to open a tab in a new window, print, or download in Excel format, if applicable. You can use this to open up a report and keep it open while you're making a decision. Our chat feature allows you to communicate with your team members while online, and messages will also be saved for future reference. Your professor will post a decision schedule on your course site dashboard. Keep an eye on your schedule so you don't miss a decision period. There are two modes of play with this cafe: benchmark and direct competitive. In the benchmark mode, you play against the computer and advance at your own pace. Your instructor may also allow replays and restarts to allow for practicing and experimentation. If you are playing as a team in benchmark mode, only the team leader will have the ability to process the advance, replays, or restarts. In direct competitive mode, you compete directly with your classmates and your decisions will interact with other student decisions in the class, and the simulation will be advanced according to the schedule your instructor has set. If you're unsure which mode you're playing in, ask your instructor. To view your and your classmates' results each period, go to the results page. You will also be able to create a comparative graph here to get a visual representation of the results and download those to use in a report if needed. If your instructor has selected any assignments for your class to complete, you will find them under the Dashboard tab. Finally, under our Help tab, you can access our FAQs as well as submit a help ticket for our staff. You can also reach us via email at support@interpretive.com. Remember, read, and understand that case. It will likely answer most of your questions. We hope that this tutorial was helpful to you. Best of luck playing this cafe.
Okay. Actually, it's not that complicated as she mentioned, and we are gonna lead you step by step. However, before that, I'm going to I've got another video actually to show you the rationale why we are interested in opening an online cafe for you guys. It's about the cafe wars between Luckin Coffee. And here's a report. So maybe you can watch it a little bit because right now this Chinese coffee is so competitive in the world, even better than Starbucks. I know many of you may be into Starbucks like me, but we will just watch the news and then you will see what's going on.
It is taking on the U.S. At the beginning of September 2025, just 2 months since its launch, Luckin had opened 5 stores in New York City. The coffee giant has only been around since 2017, but it's become a dominant force in its domestic market, with almost all of its 26,000 locations in China. For reference, Starbucks has just under 8,000 in China, and about 17,000 in the US. CNBC visited one of the first Luckin locations in New York. It had a number on the coffee counter, 00002. The zeros suggest that Luckin may be looking to scale its locations here into the thousands. But what challenges could Luckin face as it enters the US market? And what kind of threat could it pose to coffee chains like Starbucks? Luckin is a relatively young company, but has already experienced some major ups and downs. Founded in June 2017, within 2 years, the company went public on the NASDAQ. Its initial growth was rapid, and Wall Street was bullish on its future. From Q1 of 2018 to Q1 of 2019, Luckin's customer base soared from 485,000 people to 16.9 million. That's about 45,000 new customers per day.
It's a volume game. At the end of the day, Luckin is pointing to have the sales leverage come through the door, minimize the cost of the real estate by having as many transactions as possible, and so be it if the marginal profit on the marginal coffee is relatively small. They are trying to optimize for transactions.
But only after 18 months as a publicly traded company, Luckin was charged with fraud by the SEC. In its preliminary IPO filing, the company noted that it is an emerging growth company, which meant it was eligible for reduced reporting requirements. Most notably, Luckin didn't need an auditor to attest to its internal management. In January 2020, short seller Muddy Waters Research shared an anonymous report that alleged fraudulent reporting of key business metrics to manipulate investor confidence. The report said it utilized 92 full-time and over 1,400 part-time staff to run surveillance and record store traffic for 981 days in 620 stores. Luckin's stock price tanked in the wake of the report. In February 2020, the company issued a press release calling the short seller's report misleading and false. Investors and analysts also had doubts about its validity, and the stock rebounded. But by April, an internal investigation found the COO had fabricated 2019 sales by $310 million. Shares fell over 80%, wiping out $5 billion off its market cap. It turns out the company was also reporting millions in profits when restated filings show it was actually operating at a loss. Luckin was delisted from the NASDAQ in June 2020 and filed for bankruptcy less than a year later. But Luckin emerged from bankruptcy in 2022. It brought in new leadership and cleaned up its balance sheet. Over the next 3 years, it more than tripled its store count and quickly overtook Starbucks in China by total revenue. Despite a report from the Financial Times that Luckin was plotting his return to the NASDAQ, the company still trades on the OTC initial profitability. Rent for Luckin's Midtown location is around $15,000 per month, and labor costs are around $66,000 per month. Utilities, maintenance, and insurance could cost another $10 grand. That puts its overhead at around $92,000. In the report published in late July 2025, less than a month after opening, the stores were estimated to be generating $85,000 per month, averaging about 500 to 600 orders per day. Order volumes would need to be double that to break even. I ordered on the app to test out the experience. It says it should be ready in just a couple of minutes. Walking up to the store, here is Luckin. Thank you. Thank you. Luckin has some really interesting and innovative drinks in there. It's called pineapple cold brew on the menu. This is a coconut iced latte. It's one of their most popular drinks, and it's really good. It's just a hint of coconut and not too sweet. The company rolled out nearly 120 new drinks and food items in China in 2024, but it launches these new varieties carefully, using a strategic, data-driven approach to test new products in the market. Neither Starbucks nor Luckin agreed to an interview with CNBC for the story, but the Chinese coffee company had noted in a press release that its initial soft launch in New York City would enable the company to gain localized operational insights into site selection, product innovation, and customer experience, providing valuable insights for the company's global expansion. Traffic to the Starbucks across the street of the Midtown Luckin location that we visited was not particularly affected during the initial weeks of its launch. This specific Starbucks was already seeing large year-over-year drops in visits, irrespective of the Luckin opening. Replicating Luckin's success in China here in the US may not be as easy as it seems.
Here in the United States, the coffee culture is much more mature, and a new brand or as a new challenger you might see, they are facing some local competition to national competition, and so displacing some of the larger players might be just harder. Secondly, purely from a cultural standpoint, especially in this day and age, we are seeing the United States retrenching a little bit more towards American brands.
And while many chains are rewarding customers for using their mobile app, some might be adverse to that as their only option. The woman in front of me tried to add an additional drink to her order in person, and the guy said, no, it all has to go through the app. The guy behind me walked in, and I guess he didn't realize that it was an entirely mobile, cashierless environment, and he tried scanning the QR code, downloading the app, got frustrated, and just walked out. So there still seems to be a little bit of friction around this idea of an entirely mobile environment.
It's distinct from Starbucks. It's telling you sort of coming into stores, that employee connection is still important. Luckin doesn't necessarily have that, right? So I think our view would be that that isn't a broader threat to Starbucks. Do they establish somewhat of a foothold in major cities?
But the past couple of years have been rocky for Luckin's main competitor, Starbucks. The company brought in former Chipotle CEO Brian Niccol last year to revitalize the brand. The hire cost the company $85 million in cash and stock compensation. He's made all sorts of top-down efforts, like having baristas write messages on the cups and adding more comfortable seating into the stores to revive the brand's coffee house image.
Because of the time constraint, we're going to stop here. And as you can see, there are many issues you should take them into consideration when you run a real cafe like that. Even though like Luckin is such a big company in China, when they enter the US market, the biggest competitor is Starbucks. In terms of cultural issue, in terms of the maturity of the market, and also like the price wise or the salary wise, the location, rent, etc. There are many factors you have to consider when you run a real cafe. So why don't we just keep those ideas in mind when you run your real cafe. Even the logo. I actually tried my first Luckin cafe like several weeks ago when I was in Singapore. I would say it's just okay. It tastes like Kama or Louisa, yeah. But you may already know the flavor they provided compared to Starbucks. But however, for students, I would say maybe like cafe, Louisa Cafe or Kama are good enough for you to study there or to have a chat with your friend. Starbucks might be a little bit expensive for you. So, but still, in terms of segmentation, in terms of target customers, you signature or the tone of your cafe, you can think about that. What kind of targets will you focus on? Okay, so why don't we go back to the setup mode, and then our here will help you out, and then you are gonna think about that.
那大家回到这个页面，我们可以看到有3个东西要去设定，一个是你的咖啡厅形式，然后你要去买家具跟设备。那你们就先设定你们咖啡厅的名字，那这个只能去改一次，所以要想清楚。
Okay, what's the first step?
Like name your product.
Are we supposed to read the case?
I don't know.
Because the video said it's about this. So I think you can first read this and then.
So when you brainstorm together, do not forget your study partner, the AI. You can always ask your partner, your AI partner, if this is a good idea and what can be improved, okay? And you write that process, the AI use process into the decision rationale, okay?
Oh yeah, upstairs. I don't know. Well, we first have to think to who are we going to sell. Are we going to sell to students or are we going to sell to everyone? And then we need to think about the location. And then we can come up with the name. It has to be something. Well, first of all, is it going to be something Taiwanese or will it be international?
Yeah, she's from the bubble tea city, Taichung. So she knows the beverage culture.
Okay.
台中不是那个真奶的那个吗？Yeah, you know bubble tea?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something like that. Very good.
For me, my thought, what I was thinking is like, my name might be just name your cafe. Because when you sell, like, customer like, okay. So, that's my first thought. And, which means the price will go up. Because we've got a lot of options because they have like regular or organic milk.
Yeah.
You feel like choosing different type of milk that can higher cost. But that's my first thought.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe I'll have New York coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
Then your coffee.
Maybe gradual.
And gradual coffee.大家都取好名字了吗？还有人没取好的吗？
被改好名字的吗？如果改好的话，我们要下一步喽。要继续讲。
那个安静一下，安静一下。下一步是要去选家具，就是这个。然后点进去，就可以选你们要哪一种风格的设备。
Okay. Let's just do that one.
You mean that one?
Yeah. We need good coffee. We need a good machine.
Okay, sure. So 这个是可以 produce more， 是可以知道。
就每个人喝的就像杯上可以把杯放大。
好，看起来大家都选的差不多了，那就先 save 下来，然后再点到 decision 的地方这边。好，进去第一个 weekly purchase。
Yeah, just start with the third.
这边就是去选你们要进哪一种咖啡豆，然后有3种规格。这边也可以选要进几磅的咖啡，然后这个计算机可以大概去计算你要买。然后下面这边是要买什么样的杯子？做完之后一样按 save。
I can check.
Have to choose the good part or the end one, so our goal is to do like more.
有一个
Friendly, okay.
startup 这边你应该可以看我们的 logo 在 create 这边，然后它的不是有设这个都还没弄，这个都还没弄，你们都还没讲到。
I think we go high. It's in between.
我们要先设 logo， 就是你要先把商品的定位好的，最后这个就是它有一个是跨界，一个是付费，付费就买完第二天就没做了 ，maybe 哦，你现在在 start。对啊，我买了这个
就是他接到单之后立刻就
所以我买完第二天就没有钱，这种开箱。哎，所以你装手，你不要去领，
你说也是要会员，
比较不会搞错。对啊。
可会不会买到假？
不太会问题。OK， 了解。他是技术，所以应该 OK。
跟某某一样啊，他负责他是让厂家过来上面
他自己的
店。
不太会讲这样，所以他刚好是你是买什么？买10多万块钱。那应该还好，因为他是他拿到也是外币。No, OK。
然后进下一阶段，可以先听一下我的，然后你们再去看前面要买的鞋。设你们咖啡厅的营业时间是几点到几点？然后这一块是去想你要去日系的风格的，这一块是咖啡厅的经理有几个人？那一开始都是2个。你不好。然后前面设好之后，他就会帮你计算这一周人事成本。
边的应该都有在3分之一。就是继续。
换就换到这所以他们现在就在，
就是你一开始 you have to buy something first, right? Even
他设完这个，
basically you still need to buy something to make sure you have.
Okay, so that's not fine. But 看他们，你说我这样，跟他们给点他们时间。
What's your question?
我们现在是到
不知道。
有同学还没做到这一步的吗？如果还没的话，我们现在给你10分钟，然后你们就是完成这一步之后，10分钟之后我们就会跳去下一步喽。就请尽快开始讨论，然后这10分钟里面你们就自己讨论就好了，我们就不会再讲话了。那就抓一下。
它的系统有那个 mark， 这有在录这边。
他们还有疑虑，一开始不知道，预解释。
好像在那个手册才有。
一开始你还是先买张图，对，
市场资讯。
好像在还是快的手册。
稍微知道吗？你要把手册在那个学生的手册。如果你要那个市场资讯，要看学生手册。哦，再把请把它打开。
哦，那个有一些资讯哦。Here are some information you may pay attention to. Like on the left-hand side, you can click on the market. Here are some information about local labor, customer survey, industry menus. So you can check them out and make your decision first. But basically, to start up a new cafe, you still need to buy some coffee beans, furniture, machines, etc., and also try to hire people, right? So that's the basic thing you have to set up. So maybe you just set up something first, and then when you face the different cases, then you will make another decision later.
他们有疑虑是说，你都还不知道什么，你要等一下，可是他们还是要先买东西。没有在这里啊，
有一个地方可以查，在这里。
那你们怎么下设定？
学生是没有，
就随便乱下设定。
手册有一个 context，
他刚刚有人说咖啡店，
对，那个手册的 context
在哪？
他在美国，他在美国。
因为他没有情境。
有，他有一个情境，他就是有。
那你现在
你贴这边不能下载，他们也看不到。这边有手册。
对，他们现在做一个先做一个决定，这样会比较
有啊，
你没有费劳许。
他有。
No, I think you just need to go to the section and see.
他也有一个，你们刚没看影片。哦，对，我们那时候，不然你要不要再看？
他们现在还可以做决定。
他没关系，他没讲到。
那你把它点开。Okay, now let's see. What time? Okay, let's see. 一定要关掉。8 a.m.
手册有。
Okay, 6. 那因为他们刚刚就I don't know anyone who drinks coffee at all. So that would take不要知道，因为
I mean, like the clothes.
这个老师就在讨论。
一个我带。
不然你借我一下那个 Gmail，可以把手册拿出来，放在来不及。
就讲它情境，
有了，
就像管个案，
这一开始就讲情境。
你又没发
手册我有寄到email给大家。
Okay, bye. I think, okay. Okay, I can choose for our group. Okay, then.
所以他只是解释他们
下班时候开始
解释说这个
加班的人 ，maybe there's someone
好像每个 week 都有一个 case。这个是什么 case？ 对，我知道，就手册，所以他要给你手册。
你们没有手册？
我有手册。
我先改好，然后有一个好长，就是我们 A 到 C 的，你看他写了2个，然后我直接把它打，可是他还可以，就错误。如果那2个，我觉得他是想选，我觉得他不知道为什么选2个，然后这也没办法，他自己选错，对啊。可是虽然答案都是4这样子，可是没办法，对啊，还是没办法。我只是觉得傻，就很写只有3个选项，他写他不觉得应该不正常。可能我暂时改进，觉得就是今天有点冷到，泰国，我知道，冷，他就是舒暖。对啊，他就闻一下，有时候太累的时候闻一下也可以。我之前会说，就是因为前阵子就很多摄影师我要热血大学，现在很好。现在的大一就是我们班的，就是顶期了，就是现在是9期，就1元是20，然后我是2002，大3分对啊，我就觉得，好老听，我都会喝咖啡，大学还是大3，因为前2年因为可能睡不够早，所以直接喝完就可以，然后这个是一片这样。然后之前是喝1到2瓶，就是你是对啊，
等一下，在这里，他的那个 case 是80多设定，所以我那时候就没加。
case 在这一边，
我说他们不会开在哪里？
啊，不然你要传给他们吗？就传到群里。
不急，他现在设定的。
如果有人想要看的话，可以快速看。
所以我们下次上课要开那个 case。